Welcome to today's deep dive where we unwrap the story, design secrets, myths, and real world value of the Liberty Quarter Dollar from Vermont with the P Mint mark from 2001. Grab your loop, settle in, and let's turn a simple piece of change into an unforgettable journey through American art, industry, and legend. Imagine holding a tiny canvas that celebrates sugar maples, mountain horizons, and the spirit of freedom and unity. That is the Vermont State Quarter from the Philadelphia Mint in 2001. It is more than metal. It is a snapshot of a state's identity and a chapter in one of the most beloved collecting programs in United States history. Chapter 1. The story behind the coin. The Vermont Quarter arrived on August 6, 2001 as the 14th release in the 50 State Quarters program. That program rolled out 5 designs each year and drew millions of new collectors into the hobby. Vermont joined the Union in 1791, and its quarter carries the proud motto Freedom and Unity. The design shows 2 maple trees tapped for sap with camel's hump rising in the distance. This image honors real Vermont traditions of sugaring and the mountainous backbone of the Green Mountain State. StateQuarterGuide.com. The artistry blends classic and contemporary hands. The obverse features the Washington portrait from the work of John Flanagan with sculpting updates by William Cousins. The reverse design and sculpting were created by T. James Farrell. The composition is the familiar copper nickel clad with a reeded edge, standard weight, and standard diameter for modern quarters. United States Mint Chapter 2. How the design came to be. Vermont invited ideas and debated multiple concepts that kept returning to the same anchor point, camel's hump. The final pick went through the governor and the United States Treasury for approval. The result is a scene that feels like a postcard from a late winter sugar bush. Buckets hanging, trees standing tall, mountain calm in the background, motto placed with quiet confidence. StateQuarterGuide.com. Chapter 3. Minting Facts That Matter. The 2001 P Vermont Quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint for a limited production window in the State Series schedule. Total output from Philadelphia is recorded in the hundreds of millions. Specifications follow the Washington Quarter standard with clad metal and reeded edge. These are circulation workhorses built to move through pocket to cash drawer to parking meter and back again. Chapter 4. What to look for when you hold one. Move the coin under a bright light. Look for crisp detail in the maple branches and buckets, sharp lettering on Freedom and Unity, and strong hair detail on Washington. Check for clean fields with minimal contact marks. Rotate the coin and watch how the light rolls. Luster that flows like satin bands is a strong sign of high mint state quality. Even tiny ticks can drop a grade, so train your eyes to slow down and scan. Now switch from quality to oddities. Collectors enjoy true mint errors that slip through the press. Think off-center strikes that leave a crescent of blank planchet, die cracks that trace fine raised lines across devices, or misaligned dies that stretch design elements. Vermont does not have a famous named error that defines the issue, so treat any dramatic anomaly with careful study or a professional opinion. Avoid confusing online chatter that mixes Vermont with the well-known Delaware Spitting Horse error, which belongs to a different state and a different year. Chapter 5. History and Impact. The 50 State Quarters series became a cultural wave. New collectors checked change from morning coffee to evening errands. Kids built maps with plastic slots and families learned state symbols together. Vermont's quarter helped keep that momentum alive in the 2001 lineup, standing beside New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island, and Kentucky to complete the year's set. Chapter 6. Value in Circulation. Today let's get real about money. In average circulated condition, the 2001 P Vermont Quarter usually trades for face value. Nice uncirculated pieces pulled fresh from old rolls or original mint sets can bring a small premium from collectors who want clean surfaces and full luster. High-grade certified examples climb higher, but the ceiling is modest compared to rare key dates. An example graded at the top of the population has sold for hundreds of dollars, not thousands, and this helps set expectations for the typical coin. Chapter 7. Myth versus fact about giant price claims. You may have seen headlines or posts shouting that a Vermont 2001 P quarter is worth millions. Here is the truth. There is no verified auction record or recognized market data that supports a value in the millions for a regular Vermont 2001 P quarter. Professional price guides and graded auction records place even the finest certified examples far below that realm. Treat viral claims with caution and always verify through reputable. Chapter 8. How to grade your own like a pro. Start with lighting and a clean, soft surface. Wear cotton gloves if possible. Tilt the coin to read the luster. Bag marks look like tiny dings from contact with other coins. On the obverse, focus on Washington's cheek and jawline where contact shows first. On the reverse, study the fields around the maple buckets and the sky around Camel's Hump. If you believe you have a standout piece, compare it against an online photo gallery from a grading service to calibrate your eye. If the coin still looks exceptional, consider a submission to a third-party grader for authentication and encapsulation. Chapter 9. Building a Vermont-focused mini collection. Create a trio. One coin from circulation with honest wear to tell the story of commerce. One bright, uncirculated example for eye appeal. One proof from the San Francisco Mint for mirror fields and frosted devices. Add a slot for any true mint error you personally discover. Label each coin with date, mint, and how you found it. Over time, your board becomes your own Vermont story told in metal. Chapter 10. How to spot hype and protect your wallet. Check 3 things before you buy. First, the grade must be consistent with the photos and with known grading standards. Second, the price should align with recent sales, not only with asking prices. Third, the seller should have a record of real transactions. When someone claims a common state quarter is worth a fortune, ask for a comparable verified sale. If they cannot provide one, walk away with confidence. Chapter 11. Final thoughts and collector motivation. Every quarter is a tiny ambassador. The Vermont 2001 P shows how a coin can celebrate landscape, work, and community values all at once. Maybe the one in your hand came through a roadside maple stand. Maybe it paid for a toll on a mountain drive. When you look closely, you are not just checking a price. You are reading a story. On the much requested question of current market value. For clarity and honesty to collectors worldwide, the realistic current market for a Vermont 2001 P quarter is face value in circulated condition with modest premiums for uncirculated and high-grade certified pieces. There is no credible market basis for a figure of $9.6 million for a regular example of this coin. Always rely on verifiable data from recognized price guides and recorded auctions. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, drop a comment with your best Vermont story, and subscribe for more coin journeys.